So you're thinking about moving to Salt Lake City, Utah? Well, guess what? My family and I did that 2 years ago, and we absolutely love it here. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 6 pros and the 6 cons of what it's like to live in Salt Lake City, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion as someone who isn't from here. Let's get after it. Welcome back, everybody. I am Greg Spackman, a licensed real estate agent here. And as much as I like making these videos for you guys, I love helping you move here even more. So with the number popping up on the screen, please write it down, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I've got your back when you're moving here to the Salt Lake City area. So let's jump into this. Con number 1, there is no gambling in the state of Utah. That totally sucks. There's no lottery. There's no gambling here at all. You're going to have to drive at least an hour and 45 minutes to get to Wendover, Nevada, which they have a couple nice casinos there. There's an Indian casino that you can go to up in Idaho. I've heard that they only have slot machines, so you won't be able to play any table games there. Or you can drive and go to my favorite place, Las Vegas, and that's about 5.5 hours south on I-15. It's a really easy drive. You can do 80, 85 the whole way and get your gambling fixed at, or you can catch a quick 45-minute flight to Las Vegas. So all in all, you're not going to be able to do much gambling here. It completely sucks when the lottery comes out and you see it being these billion-dollar lottery and you want to be able to buy tickets. You actually can't buy lottery tickets in Nevada, so you're going to have to drive to Arizona. Pro number 1 is the airport is really, really nice here in Salt Lake City. If you haven't flown into it, it's super nice. It's got some great restaurants in there that you can't get anywhere else. They have a Panera Bread in there, which I guess they're opening up some, but prior to that, that was the only place you could get Panera. They have a pickup sticks in there, and you're only able to get pickup sticks at the airport. Makes no sense to me. They also have a Shake Shack in there, so if you're there and you need to grab a bite, you can definitely do that, but the airport is super nice. They do have this mile walk when you have to go to Terminal B, which kind of sucks, but that's where when you fly Southwest, you pretty much go there, or sometimes the Delta flights will have us land there when we fly Delta. They have a dedicated spot for you to sit when you're waiting for your people to pick them up at the airport, so it's really nice. It takes about 15 seconds, 30 seconds to drive to the terminal. It can get busy at times. The way you pick people up, there'll be like a numbering system, so it'll be like 7C or 5C, 4C. You'll just, when you walk out there, you'll let them know where you're at, and then they can pick you up. So it's nice. We typically go down to the end, so we go to like, I think it's 7C all the way at the end of it. It makes it much, much easier to be picked up, but it's super nice. If they have something called the Clear system and then the other TSA boarding thing. My wife has the Clear, and I beat her before going through the lines, so the lines aren't usually that long there to board to get on the plane, or I mean to go through security. However, the last time she beat me by a good 5 minutes and was waiting and wondering why I didn't do the TSA pre-check thing, which is on my list to do. Con number 2 is the drivers here in Utah. They are some of the worst drivers that I have seen anywhere. When we used to live in Nashville, we thought drivers there were pretty terrible. We had like Alabama and Mississippi drivers, Kentucky drivers, since the way that Tennessee is, it has a ton of those people will drive through that area, and they are awful as well. However, moving here, we have some of the most worst, awful drivers you're going to run into. They don't signal. They like to drive 90 or 100 miles an hour on the freeway when they can, and it's just, I don't know, they're just not good drivers. So that was con number 2, just so you're aware of the drivers here. And maybe where you're from, comment below if your drivers are bad. Love to know that as well. Pro number 2 is the friendly people that are here in Utah. And I always thought that Southern people were the nicest people you're going to find. Well, I think Utah gives them a run for their money. People here are generally nice. You're going to have people that are going to talk to you and be friendly with you. Like if you ran out of butter, you definitely could go ask your neighbor and they would give you a stick of butter. That sort of thing is super nice here. Just seeing people out and about when you're out walking, or when I'm out hiking and stuff and we run into people on the trails, they're always generally friendly. You do have those jerks from time to time, but I think you're going to have that everywhere. Anywhere you live, or you're going to have those types of people. But just know that the people here are friendly, so hopefully when you come here, you bring that with you and you keep that friendliness alive so that we stay a great state like that. Con number 3 is the religion. And moving to Utah, I had many people tell me, well, you aren't Mormon, Greg, so you guys aren't going to like it there. Or are you Mormon and that's why you're moving there? However, we thought it might be a challenge to live here, and it actually isn't. It hasn't been a problem with us in our daily life, work life, even our kids' schools, going to school, any of that sort of thing we've heard, or we haven't run into any sort of issue with. There are some real perks here to not being Mormon, is that you can go shopping on Sunday and half of the people aren't out there shopping. So it's much nicer to go out and do some of the things that I need to get done on a Sunday, and I don't have to deal with them. However, have noticed that the grocery stores will run out of stuff, and maybe it's just that they don't have the stockers to restock or whatever, but people seem to shop on Friday, Saturday pretty heavy at the grocery store, and a lot of the stuff is missing. Just know that and plan accordingly for that. I don't think you're going to see religion be an issue here in Utah. I have heard, I don't know for a fact, but when you get to some of the smaller cities that are out in the middle of nowhere, that religion becomes a bigger issue. So if that's true or you've heard of that, go ahead and let me know so that I can share that with other people, but comment below about that. Pro number 3 is your proximity to world-class ski and snowboarding. There are something like 14 resorts that are all within an hour drive of Salt Lake City. And all of them are pretty easy to get into and around, except for during the heavy traffic times. Park City can be a mess, but you have Alta, you have Snowbird, you have Brighton, Solitude, Park City, Deer Valley, Sundance, Mountain Resort, you have Snow Basin, Powder Mountain, and Nordic Valley. So as you can see here on this map where all of these ones are located, they're all super close. And depending upon where you pick, what city you're going to live in, you can be 20 minutes, 25 minutes from some of them if you pick some of the cities that are close up against the mountains. There are some pros and cons of picking those cities. So I have videos for those different cities that you can check out. But I've skied at a bunch of these resorts. Would love for you to comment below what your favorite ski resort is of these, or anywhere actually. My favorite ski resort is Brighton. I skied there back when I was in college, and I skied a bunch of these different resorts, and it was my favorite. So would love to hear what your favorite is. But that's pro number 3, is all the ski resorts and snowboarding that you're going to be able to do all within an hour drive. If you're still watching, please do me a favor and click the like button on this video. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out tremendously. Thank you so much. Con number 4 is the traffic and the grid system. So depending upon where you're coming from, you're going to either think that our traffic is a joke. So if you lived in Los Angeles or Dallas or somewhere else where there's massive traffic, then we don't have traffic. However, if you're coming from, like I did in Nashville, where I most of the time there could drive 70, 80, 90, 100, just kidding, on the freeway, and I could get around pretty easily there. Other than driving through Nashville, there was traffic. But here, I would say that you're going to be able to do 70, 80 on the freeway most times of day, except for during the heavy traffic times. And then you'll just know that you're not going to be driving very fast and you're going to get stuck in traffic on your commutes. Overall, you're just going to get used to kind of how the traffic flows and what ways you can go. And you can use, if you're an Apple Maps person, Google Maps, or a Waze person, you can use that to get around so that it can, get you home a little quicker. The grid system, when we first moved here, I absolutely hated it. It made no sense to me. I didn't understand why they couldn't just label everything the way everywhere else is labeled, or at least everywhere else where I've lived. It was very confusing at first. However, you will get the hang of it, and you'll probably like it, and it'll make things a lot easier. For example, one of the places that we go fishing, my sons and I, is a place called the Three Ponds in Draper, and it's located at 11,200 south by 920 west. So that's how far it is east and west and north and south from the Temple Square. So you are, in that case, 112 blocks south and 9 blocks west. Makes sense? Easy, right? Well, that'll get easier as you go here. Just know that they typically, for like 11,200, we'll call it 112th. And that'll make things a little bit easier for you. Pro number 4 will be the mountain views. And there are some incredible views of the Wasatch Mountain Range to the east. And then you got the copper mines that are out west that you can look at. So the copper mines were full of snow. Now all the snow is melted from them, but you can definitely check these out while you're here. And the mountains look different with the snow on and without. So it gets kind of cool that, that you get tired of seeing them with snow, and then now they don't have snow to look at. So about the time that you're tired of looking at them without snow, then they have snow. So it's kind of cool. It doesn't get old. It feels like you're kind of in a snow globe some when you're looking at it. One other perk of the mountains is you're not going to get lost. So you know that the mountains are to your east, and so that way it's pretty easy to go which way is north or south from where you're at based on the mountains, and those don't move. Con number 5, and probably one of the things that I've heard most about people, is the housing prices. Since COVID, housing prices have just gone nuts, and I think it's done it pretty much everywhere. But when people were able to move wherever they wanted to move for work, it just caused big issues in certain states, and Utah was one of them. And especially after you're here, you'll realize, well, I really love it here, and you'll take advantage of a ton of the things that you can do in the outdoor space, and that's coming up as a pro. Back to the housing prices, it's not cheap to live here. The average home price for a single family home is around $600,000 here, and it keeps going up and up and up. However, right now is a great time for you to make that purchase. We're still able to lock you in a home and not have to have you pay over asking price like you would before. However, certain homes are getting multiple offers right now, and I think that'll only get worse as the interest rates drop and get lower. One of the things that has made the prices here go up is everyone like you that is moving here. So stop moving here. No, just kidding. You can stretch your budget a little bit based on moving a little further out, a little further south, east, west, different directions. You can get something bigger and then increase your price. However, whatever you want to do, I'm here for you. I can help you find that perfect place. Pro number 5 is the reason that we moved here, or at least my reason for moving here, is the outdoors. I absolutely love spending time outdoors. From skiing to snowboarding, hiking, mountain biking, you can bird watch, you can camp, you can boat, fish, water ski, wakeboard, kayak, paddleboard, golf, float tube, 4x4, which I absolutely love doing. You'll see me in other videos in my Jeep, and I love taking that out, going four-wheeling. And I'm going to be going to Moab in April for their Easter Jeep Safari. There's just a ton of things that you're able to do here. You can rock climb. There's endless things that you're going to be able to do outdoors, and I think that's a big piece of why a lot of people move here. Hopefully that's why you're moving here. Would love for you to comment below what the reason is that you're moving to Utah. The only thing we're really missing here in Utah is the ocean. So I can't fix that other than having California and Nevada fall off into the ocean, and then we would have ocean. One cool thing that is super nice about being here in Utah is that it doesn't get dark till like 10 p.m. at night during the summer. So if you're like me and you work all day, and I help people like you purchase a home or look at homes or write offers or whatever, then I can still come home, grab a quick bite to eat, and go hike a trail. And I still have it light outside, which is amazing. So it doesn't feel like your day is over like it does in the wintertime. It just it gets dark too soon here. Hopefully if they adjust the daylight savings time, that'll fix some of that issue, or it won't be dark so quickly in the evening. However, you're going to like that, or you may not like that it's super dark, because your kids are going to complain about having to go to sleep when it's still light out. So we just put some dark curtains over their window. That solved that issue. Overall, that's the outdoors. Hopefully you like the outdoors, and that's part of why you're moving here. Con number 6 is not really an issue for myself. However, it has been an issue for other clients that they've had to deal with and work through, and that's the alcohol rules in Utah. We have a very strict 0.05 blood alcohol level content, so you really can't drink and drive here much at all and be under the legal limit. They have some weird rules, like you can't buy alcohol on Sundays here. You can't buy it on holidays. 3.2% is the highest beer that you're going to be able to get at the grocery store, and then the hard ciders or whatever they sell that there also. You won't be able to buy wine at the grocery store. You're going to have to go to the state-run liquor stores for anything else that you're looking for, which could be a good and bad thing depending upon your view of alcohol. Coming from Tennessee, when I moved to Tennessee, you couldn't buy wine in the grocery stores, and then they passed a law that allowed that to happen, and it didn't cause any sort of issue. And then they had a liquor store next to every grocery store where you'd just go and get everything you wanted. So outside of Costco, Costco actually had a little store to the side that sold all the alcohol that you would want. Pro number 6 is that Utah has a strong job market. It has some of the lowest unemployment in the entire nation. If you want to get a job here and a good paying job, then likely you'll be able to find that in the healthcare, technology, and energy sectors. There are 3 of the hottest sectors right now in Utah. There is a place here even called the Silicon Slopes, which is, like takeoff of Silicon Valley. But if you want to get a job here, you're going to be able to get a job here. You just have to go for it. Thank you for watching. If you found value in this, please like and subscribe. If you have a quick minute, then drop a comment below. If you're thinking of making that move here, want more information about moving here, whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, please reach out to me. Love to hear from you. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. There's videos popping up at the top of the screen here that you can watch more of my content. Until next time, be rad.